and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Companion. Today we are talking about every single champion and who's going to dethrone them, or at least who I think is going to dethrone them. This is all my opinion, all of what I think. If you don't agree, please leave your comments. Please leave what you think. Without further ado, guys, we got NXT. So let's start with our NXT champion. Why not? Obafemi Darula. And my God, what a conqueror. Obafemi is the man. Obafemi is ready for the main roster whenever you want to call him up. He's just vibing right now. Doing his thing. And honestly, I don't see a stop to that anytime soon. That being said, my closest pick to someone dethroning him, the only person they've really seemed to give any kind of a similar spotlight to that I feel like could possibly be the one to dethrone him, unfortunately, is Miles Bourne. Yeah. Anyways, women's NXT champion, Jacy Jayne, is the NXT Women's Champion. She shocked the world. She defeated Stephanie Vaquer. She took the championship from her. And guys, I think that's awesome for her. I think that's an awesome thing in her career at this point. Hell yeah, good for you, Jacy. Don't let any of the haters tell you any differently. Good for you, girl. You do your thing. I will tell you, though, there is someone as soon as they showed up, you might as well hand that belt over. She hasn't even got an official name yet. But guys, the person taking that belt off of Jacy Jayne, it's Mariah May. She made her debut last week. Tomorrow, she's probably going to be on there. She'll probably officially get her official name. Officially. And it don't matter what it is. It could be Mariah December. It really don't matter. Guess what? Mariah December is your new NXT Women's Champion. There's not a better heel in pro wrestling right now. It's Mariah May, and then it's maybe Naomi. Because Toni Storm used to be up there, but Toni Storm's a babyface because of this woman right here, Mariah May. She's fantastic, and she's here in NXT, ready to take over, ready to dominate. Then we got the NXT North American Championship. The NXT North American Champion is none other than All Ego, Ethan Page, baby. He won this off of Ricky Saints. He just defended this at Worlds Collide in a fantastic Fatal 4-Way match with Laredo Kid, Rey Fenix, and Javon Evans. And speaking of Javon Evans, I think Javon Evans is the man to dethrone Ethan Page. Probably for Ethan Page to go to the main roster. Because Ethan Page, I think, is already ready. I think he's been ready this whole time. He's just been cooking. So, Javon Evans has been Ethan Page's biggest feud outside of, Trick. When Ethan Page lost his smile, who did he attack and beat up? Javon Evans. Now, with this NXT North American Championship, who was his first feud? Javon Evans. I think it's high time for Javon Evans to get some gold around his waist. And I think the NXT North American Championship is the first stop in several championships for the young OG. So, I got Javon Evans as your new NXT North American Champion. Then we go to the women's side of things. Your women's North American Champion is none other than the badass Sol Ruca. Sol Ruca is dope. Sol Ruca does some of the coolest moves ever. Her finisher is one of my favorite finishers. She has my number 2 favorite finisher involving the ropes, in general. She touches the ropes. Because the Soul Snatcher is so badass. I think Sol Ruca is dropping that title to none other than her good pal, Zarya. Because they are a tag team right now. They kind of moonlight as a tag team in Zaruka. And I think a Zarya heel turn is the move. I think Zarya is going to eventually get tired of not having any championships of her own. And, man, she wants some gold. And I think she's going to take that title off of her eventually sometime down the road. Who knows when that may be? Maybe a couple months, maybe very soon. We will see. Now for probably the NXT Championship that's without the clearest contender, I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing here. That's the NXT Tag Team Champion, and that is Hank and Tank. And it's just the tag team division after Fraxium left has just kind of been wide open. So we're just kind of waiting for that 1, 2 to kind of step up and take charge. I think right now, build-wise, like who they've built so far to this point, I think the most likely candidates for your next NXT Tag Team Champions are either like Dark State, like 2 guys from Dark State, or the Cullen in like Sean Spears' group. I could also see them doing it because they've been feuding with Hank and Tank. So those are my guesses. And yeah. Then we move on to the main roster. We got Monday Night Raw. We got the World Heavyweight Championship main event. Jey Uso is now in your city. I think the new World Heavyweight Champion is pretty easy. I think it's going to be Seth freaking Rollins. Especially now that this is post Money in the Bank. So especially now that he's Mr. Money in the Bank, I think that just makes it easier. But I think Seth freaking Rollins is synonymous with the World Heavyweight Championship. And I think eventually when he decides he wants to cash that Money in the Bank briefcase in, he's going to want his baby, his World Championship, and that's the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that's the most likely possibility. There's not another individual, I think, who's built up to the level of Seth freaking Rollins to dethrone Jey Uso. Then we go on to the Women's World Championship. We have the champion being none other than my girl, Io Sky. So, this one I'm not super confident in. I think the only candidate that I can think of to dethrone Io Sky here and now talking to you about it is Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, the Women's World Championship is Rhea Ripley's baby. Just like Seth Rollins, that's her belt. She was the one who had it when it was introduced. It's just synonymous with her. I think Rhea Ripley is eventually going to try really, really hard to get that belt back. And when she does, she's going to get it back. When that is, I don't know. I do like the new wrinkle with Naomi, but I feel like Naomi is probably going to be gunning for the WWE Women's Championship. But who knows? Would be kind of cool. So we'll see. For the Intercontinental Championship, the champion is none other than Dirty Dom Mysterio, baby. Right now, Dom hasn't really had any, like, legit feuds. It's just been a lot of micro feuds, a lot of one-off matches, which is fine. But let's get this reign going, man. Like, we all wanted this. We all asked for this. We're all ecstatic when it happened at WrestleMania. Let's give him, let's give him the reins, man. Let's give him a legit feud, see what he can do with it. I think eventually down the road, the most likely candidate to dethrone Dirty Dom for his Intercontinental Championship is my boy, Finn Balor. Guys, Finn Balor fans, it's happening. I swear, I don't want to lead you down a road of promises and false hopes. But guys, I really think this might be it. I know I may just be setting myself up for failure, and that's okay. I'm willing to do that for Finn Balor because I love Finn Balor so much. I am a Finn Balor stan. I love that man. But I'll do it because I think he's the best scenario. I need him to leave Judgment Day freaking stat. And if this has to be the catalyst to do that, cool. So I think your new Intercontinental Championship is none other than Finn Balor. Huh. So, as of right now, as of not yesterday, but as of Money in the Bank, your new Women's Intercontinental Champion is none other than Becky Lynch. Now, Becky, see, I think the most likely candidate to take this belt, because I think Becky will hold on to this belt for a good little bit. I think she's going to elevate this belt and elevate it in feuds you never thought you'd see this belt in. You never, on cards you never thought you'd see this belt on. I don't know if Lyra is the move to take it back. I think the most likely candidate to eventually take that belt off of Becky Lynch is Bayley. I think it would be cool to eventually down the line have Bayley still continue to be that Grand Slam champion. But now there are 2 belts she has to go win. Have her go win those things. But I would like it if they kind of made like a feud with Becky of like that's what they're both kind of chasing. But only one can get it first. I think that'd be a cool idea. Maybe I'm just spitballing and coming up with new things. But there it is. And finally, on Monday Night Raw, we have the World Tag Team Championships that are literally just decoration at this point. The pepperoni belts. Your World Tag Team Champions are The New Day and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. I'm just done. I love the War Raiders, but I am done with this feud with the War Raiders. I tell you what I eventually want. It's not my prediction, but eventually what I want is the Lucha Brothers to hold these tag titles. Penta and Rey Fenix. But I think the way we get there is the New Day drops these belts to none other than American Maids, Julius and Brutus Creed, the Creed brothers. I want the Creed brothers versus the Lucha Brothers so bad. Give it to me, man. Give it to me. The Creed brothers put on a banger of a match no matter who they aren't in there with. War Raiders, New Day, freaking A-Town Down Under, it doesn't matter. You freaking throw Andrade and Penta together. They're not even a real tag team. They're going to have a great tag team match with them because the Creed brothers are solid-ass workers. And American Made has been feuding with the Lucha Brothers. Dude, it's right there in your face. Give it to me, please. I'm begging you. Anyways, we move on to Smackdown, where your WWE champion is none other than the franchise John Cena. Listen, John Cena, heel John Cena. I think it's pretty obvious who's taking this belt off of him. I think it was obvious from the moment John took the belt off of him. I think your new WWE champion and the one to dethrone John Cena is Cody Rhodes. I don't think there's another candidate even close. I could see maybe a Seth Rollins cash in now that he is Mr. Money in the Bank. But like I said earlier, I still think he's going to gun for that World Heavyweight Championships because he's been so synonymous with that belt that in his mind, that's his belt. So I don't know. We'll see. But I think here and now, sitting here, the most likely is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Probably at like SummerSlam or something like that. Then we move on to the Women's WWE Championship, who is none other than Tiffany Stratton. Tiffy time, we've been rocking. we've been rolling. Love Tiffy. She beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania in a match. But I set myself up for failure because I was so hyped about that match. Literally, I wanted Charlotte Flair to win the Royal Rumble so I could have that match. I know, guys. Don't yell at me too much. But I did. I can't lie. I was at Indianapolis Royal Rumble. I wanted Charlotte to win because I wanted Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Well, we got it. I just didn't get what I thought I was going to get. So I'm sorry. But anyways, Tiffany Stratton, I think the most likely candidate for taking that belt off of Tiffany Stratton is none other than the new Ms. Money in the Bank, and that's Naomi. Proceed with caution, everybody. She's going to be lurking. It may not be for a while. I foresee her lurking, man. I mean, showing up in the backstage, just holding that briefcase, just watching. Just lurking, studying. Because she's going to know exactly the moment when she wants to cash in. When's the perfect moment? She's going to wait. And as soon as that is, wham! 1, 2, 3, baby. And new WWE Women's Champion, Naomi. Moving on to the U.S. title. United States Champion is none other than the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. I think this one's pretty obvious. They've been setting it up for a while. Especially with Money in the Bank just happening and being in the books now with the Jacob Fatu heel turn on, not a heel turn, but like a turn on Solo Sikoa. I think the person to screw Jacob Fatu out of his U.S. title is none other than Solo Sikoa. I think that's the way they seem to be going with this. So we'll see what happens. He may just screw him and somebody else take it. But as of right now, I don't see a likely candidate of like being who that person is. So here and now I'm saying that the person to take the title off of him is Solo Sikoa. Then we move on to the women's side of the thing. The women's United States champion right now is none other than Zelina Vega. I like Zelina Vega. I think she's fantastic. It has been an absolute shame that now that she's United States champion, you barely ever see her. Which, I mean, before then she was kind of that way, but like she's the champion now, you should be seeing her a lot more. And it sucks because she's so good. But it is what it is. I'm just hoping they can bring some prestige and some respect to this title. Because I feel like they've made some missteps with this title, with feuds and things like that. I think Chelsea Green was a fantastic first champion. But I think how they handled her championship reign, there were errors made. So I think now they need to put it on a new individual, which sucks because I think Zelina's so good. But I think they're going to try and reinvigorate this title with a new young superstar. And I think that new young superstar is none other than Julia. I think Julia is your new Women's United States Champion. They've all but confirmed that to be the case on Friday Night Smackdown because she attacked her, took her out, and then she's holding the belt up. So I think new Women's United States Champion is going to be Julia. Then finally, we have the WWE Tag Team Championship, who your champions are none other than Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, the Street Profits. Love the Street Profits. I love that they are putting on fantastic matches. I love that promo-wise they are in their bag right now. I feel like they are cutting the best promos they've ever cut in their careers. The only criticism I have and the only thing I don't like is I don't like that, like, you don't even really know. Are they a tweener? Are they not? Are they good? Are they heels? Are they baby faces? Like, I don't know. I don't care. I don't even care if they're a tweener. I just feel like it's never really been truly established if they are or not. Like right now, they just seem like baby faces with bad attitudes sometimes. But then other times they're cracking jokes. So I'm like, I don't know. But I love the Street Profits. I think they're super, super talented. Tez can do no wrong in my book. I think Angelo Dawkins is so underrated. And I think he's a dog. And I think the Street Profits are absolutely fantastic. And I think they've been fantastic for a very long time. And I think they're finally starting to really, really come into their own with this championship run. That being said, I think your new WWE Tag Team Champions, based on how they've been built, brought in, and been feuding, I think it's going to be Fraxium. I'm not 100% confident because of the whole Wyatt 6 thing. So it may be Fraxium down the line and maybe Wyatt 6 take the titles now. But I think Fraxium is one of the very best tag teams in the entire face of the planet. And I think it's a matter of time before those tag titles go home to Nathan Frazier and Axiom. And yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are all my picks for every single champion, who I think is going to dethrone them. And yeah, so just leave a comment. Tell me who you think is going to dethrone each champion, and leave a like and a follow. And yeah, check out our Patreon. We got Elimination Chamber reviews, match watch-alongs, got the Raw rundown, Smackdown rundown. Well, it's called Smack Talk. But yeah, we got Smack Talk happening too. All coming your way. I'm available on any social media platform at The Wrestling Companion. So please check us out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. Doses.